Ann Wren, manager of APA's Green Communities Research Center. We're standing in Chicago's Millennium Park, just steps away from APA's Chicago office. Behind me is the McDonald's Cycle Center with an example of a rooftop solar array. As part of APA's role in the Solar America Communities Outreach Partnership, an initiative funded by the U.S. Department of Energy, we recently held a scoping symposium to discuss planning for solar energy and hear lessons learned from some of the Solar America cities. This information is intended to help APA, the Department of Energy, and other project partners in developing future materials to assist communities in planning for solar energy. The participants included planners, energy managers, solar experts, project partners, and technical assistance providers. Let's meet these participants, hear what they had to say about participating in the symposium, and their insights for other communities in planning for solar energy. Perhaps their lessons learned will be helpful to your community. Let's listen and then stay tuned for where you can find more information and resources.
I'm Mary Tucker. I'm the energy manager for the city of San Jose, and have been involved in solar energy for the city planning on a community-wide level and also putting solar installations on our own city facilities.
Hi, my name is Bruce Plank. I'm the Solar Energy Coordinator for the City of Tucson, Arizona. We are a Solar America city and have been putting solar on city buildings since 1999. I've been involved with doing solar for the City of Tucson for the past 3 or 4 years. The city, as well as installers, our local utilities and others, have developed a good cooperative relation to develop solar.
Hi, my name is Neil Vea. I'm a consultant with Meister Consultants Group. We work with a number of towns and cities and states across the U.S., helping them think through solar strategy development and project implementation.
Hello, my name is Jason Kambitsis. I'm a senior planner at the City of Pittsburgh Department of City Planning. My role here, at the City of Pittsburgh involving with solar energy is being part of the Solar America Cities team. I work on creating and implementing solar energy products and other renewable energy projects within the City of Pittsburgh.
I'm Brian Ross. I'm with CR Planning. I'm a consulting firm that does work in urban planning and energy policy. I'm currently serving as the Solar Cities Coordinator for Minneapolis-St. Paul. My experience in planning for solar energy includes doing a lot of energy policy work at the state level, as well as for local governments, helping local governments understand their resources and their opportunities in regard to developing for the future and developing energy, local energy resources.
Hi, I'm Jamie Cullip with the City of Sacramento. I'm an associate planner, and we are working on initiatives to streamline our permitting process, creating templates, online permitting, and then also zoning code changes for solar.
Hi, my name is Jason Coughlin. I'm with the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, and my role in both this event and in solar energy planning is as the lead for the lab for the Solar America Cities program.
Hi, my name is Darcy White with Clarion Associates. I work with a number of communities across the country on comprehensive plans and zoning codes, and sustainability issues like solar come up in a lot of those processes.
My name is Lee Rahr, and I'm with the City of Portland Bureau of Planning and Sustainability. I am the solar program coordinator there, and I work closely with the residential community explaining the benefits associated with solar. I've been at the Bureau for 5 years, really working on education and outreach and demand creation, really trying to grow a solar market.
My name is Charlie Coggeshall. I work with the Solar Market Transformation Team at the U.S. Department of Energy in D.C. and my role there is as an energy analyst.
My name is Justin Barnes. I work at the North Carolina Solar Center. I wear a couple different hats at the Solar Center. I work on the database of state incentives for renewables and efficiency, which is a Department of Energy funded public project that tracks information about renewable energy and energy efficiency incentives, and solar is obviously part of that. I also work as the project coordinator for the Solar Center's efforts under the Solar America Communities Outreach Partnership. So under that effort, we've been going out and doing workshops and working with specifically members of local governments, but also some other folks who don't have a lot of experience with solar, looking at the ways and opportunities they have for supporting solar better within their community.
This event has been a great opportunity to share the experiences that we have in San Jose, and also to learn from so many other people on what they've been going through and where there's resources to help us improve our city.
I think this event has been very useful in terms of thinking about solar from a planning perspective and trying to figure out the best way for people with a planning background who are working as planning director, planning staff, or whatever, to be able to understand insights from other parts of the solar community, like solar installers, like the neighbors of solar facilities and other affected users.
This has been a really excellent event, learning from experts from across the nation about their experience with solar and how cities have successfully implemented solar programs.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be working with the APA and trying to figure out codes and other zoning regulations that other cities can use and implement for themselves.
This is a particularly important event that we're engaged in here because the APA is helping facilitate that discussion among local governments on what they can do to proactively address solar energy resources and similar local resources.
It's really a great opportunity to dialogue with your fellow colleagues on solar, to hear best practices, to hear about their challenges that they face in their community and how they overcame them.
Well, I think this event is important. I think folks aren't necessarily aware of the costs involved in the zoning and permitting process, and they can be onerous enough that many projects don't move forward. So to the degree we can kind of hash these issues out and lower these permitting and zoning barriers, the more solar that will get installed.
This event is a great thing for those of us who are participating to interact with our colleagues about best practices in solar, just hearing about what other communities are doing around the country.
I believe this event is very important, and it is allowing us to share some of the lessons we've learned around planning and zoning, and learn from other cities what they've done and identify opportunities where we can do better or integrate new policies and programs into what we're already doing at the City of Portland.
I don't have a ton of experience in planning for solar energy, so this is a good learning process for me right now, and actually I'm hoping to bring back some of the understanding and knowledge that I'm gaining right now back to the Department of Energy to be used there.
You know, one of the chief things that we confront, as solar industry professionals is taking folks who aren't very clearly tied to the industry and kind of bringing them in and getting them up to speed on what solar is oftentimes, how solar markets operate, where policy fits in, the kinds of things that they need to be thinking about. And I think this is a real, a valuable piece to taking knowledge of solar and bringing it to a relatively new audience in some cases.
The advice that I would give a planning director is to talk to lots of people, to learn everything you can and understand the perspectives that everyone has, from the elected officials down to the solar installers, about getting more solar within your city.
I think the main thing I would say to a planning director is don't try to reinvent the wheel. There are plenty of good examples elsewhere. And start early, because no matter how early you start, it's probably not early enough to get things put in place before the events of the solar project will overtake you.
And I guess if I was to give advice to a planning director, I'd encourage him to take a really collaborative approach and learn from the installer community, residential end users, commercial end users, and folks throughout the entire value chain to understand the sort of needs and issues and how solar can best be integrated into a community.
Solar energy is a critical local resource. It requires infrastructural perspective, that when we build housing, when we build streets, when we construct our neighborhoods, these are all infrastructural choices that affect the viability of this important local resource, solar energy, for generations to come. And you really need to think about it now as you're going through those processes, when you're building homes, when you're building neighborhoods, that is not going to restrict the ability of people in the future to take advantage of this important resource.
I would really give the advice that it's important to start early, but also to plan comprehensively for solar. That way you're identifying what the priorities are in your community, and you can use that as your guide when you're dealing with solar instead of reacting as projects come in.
As far as advice I would give to a planning director, to repeat what a number of colleagues are saying, I think you got to start as early. If you think you're in the process early enough, you got to be even earlier. Otherwise, solar will get left on the cutting room floor.
In terms of advice for planning directors, I think looking for creative ways to introduce solar into the planning process through your comprehensive plan updates or zoning code updates, looking for those opportunities and getting the questions on the table early would be things I would suggest.
Advice I'd have for a planning director would be to make your processes and your codes and any regulations, I guess, that have to do with solar installations as transparent as possible, so that installers and consumers don't have to navigate through books and people and phone calls and websites and all over the place in order to figure out how or whether or not an installation is even possible in their neighborhood. So make it as easy as possible.
If I was going to say what other planning directors and what other planning departments should be thinking about when it comes to creating solar energy, it's about thinking that solar energy is not just an alternative. It should be part of every kind of process. And when you're thinking about projects, solar should be part of that project at the beginning. So you should create processes that make it easy and predictable and understandable for solar energy and other renewable energy projects to be part of any new development.